I got invited to speak to the top 1% of performing realtors in America. Wow. So these are the realtors that actually make money. And I was brought into a room and I had to come up with the talk. And I was like, what do you tell the best salespeople in America, right? Like real estate's hard. If you're like most real estate people never make money. The top one.
Now more than ever.
Right. And the top 1%, it's like these guys are crushing it. Like one of them's got like 60 agents under him and just killing it. And so I said to them, how many of you have started social media? And a whole bunch raised their hand. I was like, and how many of you are using TikTok? And a whole bunch raised their hand. I was like, how many of you have noticed that the silly videos you make of you dancing or miming along with a song get you the most engagement? They were laughing, oh yeah, that's totally us. I was like, I'm just going to show you a statistic. And I brought up the average age of a user on TikTok, and it's like 11 to 14. And I was like, I just want to know, as a top 1% performer, is this been your secret? Is it that 11 to 14-year-olds have yet to buy their first property and you guys are selling to them? And they're like, right, yeah. And they're like, well, no, I haven't really made a sale. And
that's where everyone has to be, Adam. We have to be on TikTok.
Right.
You hear this all the time.
And so I then went through the profiles of all the major platforms. Like YouTube is 16 to 21. And then you go to Facebook. Facebook's actually pretty interesting. Facebook's like 40 to 44, which makes it the better of the platforms if you're trying to target people with money. But you know the one that's better than that? The one that actually fits the number one demographic of almost every major business owner that will be your type A client will be someone who earns a minimum of 6 figures, someone who is motivated, career driven, and someone who actually understands value and is willing to pay for it. And we find them, that's right, on Snapchat. No. On LinkedIn.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, Adam, you talk about this stuff, right? I mean, like, I could go through and be like, here are the average salaries. The average salary on LinkedIn, the last I checked, was almost $120,000 a year. So when you look at the other platforms, that's about almost double what some of the other top platforms' average salary. And if it's the average is 120, I mean, like, we know the law of averages. So, I mean, it's...
Except Ryan's toy review totally ruins it because he's like 15. No, I'm joking. But that's true, right? The people with the money, the people that can actually hire you for your services or bring you in to consult for their company, they're on LinkedIn. Yeah. So I wanted to make this really clear in case you're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to check my social media and ignore this guy. You're wrong, because this is the one guy to listen to. And I'm telling you, there is no better authority than the person that MySpace, Google, Joe Polish, Tony Robbins go to for their help. I don't care how many LinkedIn people you've helped. You do not have the best in the world coming to you. And that's how you know you have pure authority. And so I brought this guy in because he lives in Austin. He's a good friend of mine. And I was like, let me give you guys something to really blow you away. So you've tidied up your profile. You've understood you need to make it more like a dating profile. I'm joking. Not really, but really.
But really, you're 100% correct. I mean, it has to have that human element. I mean, right. People miss that all the time. If you look at my profile, you will see things about my kids. People forget about those human elements. They just talk about all their business stuff.
So I like this. This is actually really key. And I know this is secretly one of the key things. I've spoke to Josh about this before. The content that does best on LinkedIn, tell me if this is still true, is family content.
It is. And what's crazy, this last year, this is what's going to blow the best posts that do well. Selfies. Selfie posts, because guess what? They want to see the real you. They want real and raw. Right? What happens when you see overproduced? What do we think? We're about to get pitched. It's commercial. This is the human algorithm, right? I've watched it over the last 20 years being in social media. We like, oh, cool. We don't know what that is. I'm going to click on it. And then finally we go, oh, we know what that is. I'm going to pass that. Who still clicks on the first top 2 results on Google? Nobody. Yep. Because we know they're sponsored. They're paid for. Right? And so this is what happens. But when that first came out, we all clicked on those things. So, I mean, these are the things that I want people to think about when you're actually building these profiles and posting your content. How are you showing up? And I mean, we'll go through my way to be able to post whenever you're ready.
I would love that. Yeah, let's hear it. So what do you do?
So look, we all talk about being able to post content, right? I mean, content's king. I'm going to say it's not. I'm going to tell you all right now, content's not king anymore. I mean, because who here, like Adam, okay. I mean, I know you're out here in Bastrop, running around, shooting arrows, running through the forest.
Pretty much all I ever do.
All the time with the kids. But
how is she going to get breakfast?
Like, let's say you and Eve you're hanging out Friday night, watch some TV. Like, how many times have you ever been like, man, there's nothing to watch?
Okay. Honestly,
Could be we're asking the wrong person.
you're asking the wrong person. But I will tell you this. Of all the things that we do want to watch, it's hard to pick one. And I made this comment the other day. I was like, I remember when we only had 4 channels.
Right.
And it was easier to choose.
Right.
And now I can watch anything. And I bought every subscription to absolutely everything so I can watch everything. And I just sit there and go, there's nothing.
But that's the thing, right? Content's not king where there's too much of it. You know, we've been taught over the years, like just keep on posting, putting out content. So content's not king anymore. There's so much of it. We have so much access to it. Quality is queen, right? Quality content, being able to put that out there, that's what people are looking for. So like, how do we actually create that it adds value? How do you educate, inspire, and draw someone in? How do we evoke an emotion? And I mean, this is the biggest thing. Like you touched on this earlier, Adam, which is, you know, people making decisions, how they go in. As human beings, and you hear me say the human algorithm a lot, because I think that's the one thing that really matters as you continue to be able to go in, because as you understand humans, it doesn't matter the platform. It doesn't matter. It just evolves over time. It doesn't change, right? And so as human beings, we make decisions emotionally. We make decisions on some degree of love or hate. We do not make decisions based on being indifferent towards something. And this is the problem in today's world. We all put out so much content that we're like, I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to be too polarizing. So it's just indifferent content. And so no one engages on it.
I love that. And you guys, you remember, right? Quality is queen, which I think is beautiful. And we all know who runs the world. Girls. There was a song about it. Who runs the world. So, right? We know this. But genuinely, and I think this is actually really key that many guys might miss, is with social media, the word social is an emotional algorithm, not a logical algorithm. And I think the reason a lot of business owners fail on social media is they try to build a logical solution to the algorithm and fail. Because every time somebody cracks the algorithm gets annoyed because you are killing the human, empathic, emotional experience. And it's no surprise that the most successful people on social media are women.